What if the reason you can't stop overthinking is because you're trying too hard to stop? Think about that for a moment. Have you ever replayed the same conversation in your mind dozens of times, wondering if you said the wrong thing, the wrong word, the wrong tone? Maybe you've written a message, and then rewritten it. Then read it again and again, trying to make sure everything is perfect. Or perhaps you find yourself lying awake at night, mentally preparing for situations that haven't even happened yet, imagining different outcomes, different problems, different possibilities. And no matter how hard you try to stop thinking, your mind keeps going. Many people believe that overthinking is simply a bad habit, but the truth is much more complicated. Overthinking usually begins as an attempt to solve a problem. Your brain believes it's helping you. It believes that if it thinks long enough, an answer will eventually appear, a solution, a certainty, a guarantee. But life rarely provides certainty, especially when it comes to relationships, health, work, money, or the future. And that's where the cycle begins. The brain starts searching for certainty. It searches for reassurance. It searches for control. But instead of finding answers, it finds more questions, more possibilities, more doubt, more reasons to keep thinking. Before you realize it, you've spent hours inside your own head. The strange thing is that overthinking feels productive. It feels like you're doing something useful. After all, you're analyzing, preparing, planning, trying to avoid mistakes, trying to prevent problems, trying to stay safe. But often, overthinking doesn't solve problems. It simply creates mental exhaustion. And the more exhausted you become, the harder it becomes to think clearly. Many people spend years believing that the solution is to think harder, analyze more, prepare more, control more. But what if constant mental effort is actually the thing keeping the cycle alive? Think about the moments when your mind feels most peaceful, perhaps during a walk, listening to music, watching the ocean, spending time with someone you trust. Those moments rarely happen because you've solved every problem in your life. They happen because, for a brief moment, your mind stops demanding certainty. And that realization can change everything. Because if overthinking is not the solution, then maybe you no longer need to carry the exhausting responsibility of solving every uncertainty that appears in your mind. And understanding why this happens may completely change the way you relate to your thoughts. So why does the brain become trapped in overthinking? The answer is surprisingly simple. Your brain is trying to protect you. Whenever uncertainty appears, the mind starts searching for answers. It wants to know what will happen, what could go wrong, and how to stay safe. Thousands of years ago, this was useful. For our ancestors, uncertainty could mean danger, a predator, a hostile group, a threat requiring immediate action. The brain learned that focusing on possible problems increased survival, and in many situations, it did. The problem is that the modern brain still uses this ancient system. Today, most threats are not physical, they're psychological. A difficult conversation, a job interview, a financial decision, a relationship problem, an uncertain future. The brain treats these situations as problems that must be solved immediately. So it starts analyzing, predicting, rehearsing, searching for certainty, but certainty rarely arrives. And when certainty doesn't arrive, the thinking continues. What begins as problem solving becomes mental looping. The same thoughts, the same worries, the same questions, again and again. Many people believe they need the perfect answer before they can relax. But often the opposite is true. Real peace begins when you stop demanding certainty from life. That doesn't mean giving up. It means recognizing that not every thought deserves your attention. Not every question requires an answer. And not every uncertainty is a threat. The next time you notice yourself overthinking, pause. Instead of asking, what if something goes wrong? Ask, is this thought helping me right now? Sometimes the answer will be yes, but often it will be no. And that small shift can change everything. Freedom from overthinking doesn't come from controlling every thought. It comes from learning that you don't have to follow every thought that appears. The mind will always create possibilities. The mind will always create questions. But you can learn to observe those thoughts without becoming trapped inside them. When that happens, the noise becomes quieter, the pressure begins to fade, and you create space for clarity. Most people spend years trying to control their thoughts. Few discover that peace comes from changing their relationship with those thoughts. That single shift can transform the way you experience anxiety, stress, and overthinking itself. If this video helped you see overthinking differently, subscribe to Mind Transformation channel. We'll continue exploring anxiety, overthinking, sleep, and resilience.